How's it going, everyone? I was playing, I was kind of excited to play the new, Payday game, but, I was playing on the Xbox Cloud thing on my Mac, and I had to wait like 15 minutes to play because it was from the queue thing. So I was playing it all happy. Game froze and I had to quit. So the whole cloud thing, if Xbox thinks that's the future of their system, I just don't think it's going to work. How is that going to work when if I try on my Mac, I have to wait one game, 45 minutes? How many people are going to want to wait that long to play a game when people that just buy it on disc can play it anytime? Does it make sense? And then you have to set up an account for the company that makes it, which I don't know how many people are going to want to do. So I don't know. I don't think that's really going to work out very well. But I mean, people play games on Steam. They have millions of people, I guess. But so then I started playing Sniper Elite. That was fun. I got both of those like 20 minutes and playing those, and they're fun. I would play some Tomb Raider right now, but I'd rather just watch TV. Haven't done anything today because my niece and nephew were over. So I stayed home. But tomorrow I'm going to get up early and watch something on 4K. Started watching a show, although it didn't feel good, about two girls that make fake ID when they're in high school or something. I don't know if it's based on a true story, but anywho, I heard something earlier in my mind. I've been writing down all these lyrics or whatever they are. I heard Big Brutal Daddy. I thought, Big Brutal Daddy? That's brutal. I don't say it right. I thought I could probably write something with that, so I wrote this first part down. Big Brutal Daddy having one of those days, wife and kids knocked down with his rage. They may one day end it, but they'll never escape their memories of that big brutal daddy and his days of rage. So nobody knows this, I guess. But that's a life story. My dad. So I thought I would finish writing it, and I wrote so after that, Mom and Dad met one day at a job, brick and mortar store, making the money that they need. Daddy was nice, made Mama smile, and made her feel special for the first time in a while. They went out like most do, did some things when their love grew. Got married before she gave birth to me, it's true. The son, the mom, and that big brutal daddy who'd have days of rage. Never was a monster in the early days of love till their wedding night when he felt shoved like a boxer standing in the ring, hard to bow out with a wedding ring. When she went home, looked at her daddy with a black eye, walked into something. She knew it was a lie. If she had said what happened that night, maybe her life would have been more bright. Years, oh years, years, they went by. A second was born. They made another life, but that big brutal daddy hurt him before he even left that place. He stayed, part of her, part of him, for the days. I would cry a lot when I saw that look in his eyes. I knew, by the tone in his voice, my body would start to feel so cold, but it's hard to get warm when the freezing wind blows from the man who is part of who you are. Over time, she would get strong, make that man leave. The times, oh times, they weren't easy. Brother and I would go see him on the weekend. No control, no safe place, just us two, young boys, and that big brutal daddy who'd have his days of rage. The time, it went by. I stopped seeing him. But brother, oh brother, you still tried. You would cry, oh you'd cry, when Mama tried to take you away. Maybe somehow, inside, you just knew that he wouldn't, for very long, be alive. And while young, neither 18, one day, to that big brutal daddy, the one that made us cry, he so young, we so young, the two of us would never get to say goodbye. So, that may be kind of stupid, but that is a 100% true story of my life. and my brother and my mom and my dad, you know. Man, well, I'm getting kind of emotional now. It's a little weird. But that's the truth. And I thought of that a long time ago. Anyone who's been abused probably would understand. I guess it depends on how long you've been abused, but maybe it wouldn't. You may end the abuse, but you can never escape it, man. Anytime I hear a man yell, oh my God, it makes me so afraid. I hate it. I hate when people yell. Oh my God, it makes me so terrified, you know. I mean, I'm a big guy. I'm 38 years old, but still, that affects me hearing a man yell. I hate it. I hate it so much. And that's the effects of being abused for the first 16 or 17 years of my life, you know. Not always physically. When he lived on his boat, it was verbally and mentally. But I would still be afraid that he was going to hit me. Does that make sense? So, that's super personal, I guess, but, and I'm not saying that's good, but of all the things I've written, that right there is 100% a biography. You know what I mean? I wrote another one too, I think about, let's see, songs writing folder. Let's see. This one I wrote. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if I did these or not yet. Let me see here. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I think I read this one. It's called Paul, didn't I? Yeah, okay. I did read that, I think. That's not right, okay. So the other ones I wrote, at least two of them. These are just two songs I wrote. I don't know. Let's see. This one isn't actually about being abused, I guess. This one's called Neon. And no, not the John Mayer song, although I do love that. Little bright-eyed baby, lying in his crib, watching as the world blows by. New York apartment, picked by his mama and his daddy. They can see the neon so bright at night, and he doesn't have a care in the world. For most his age, it's true. Just mom, just dad, him, and the neon too. Time goes by. He's grown a little since the crib. 8 or 9. The city's still where he lives. The noise, the trash, the bodies walking all day. He starts to wonder what it like to live far away. So that I don't know. That's something that had nothing to do with that. I didn't finish that. I don't think that sounds very good. This one is called Riverman, and this one, I think this one's based on my dad. I wrote this one yesterday, I think. Riverman, Riverman, you're living on the water. You decided not to give life's pain any more bother. You found yourself a boat. You found yourself a place. You live like a hippie. Really any watery place. You have 2 kids. You've not seen them in so long. One son graduated. The other's hair is too long. You've got that wife of yours, most beautiful woman in the world, but nothing to a sunset and that surf-like swirl. No TV, you didn't need it anyway. You just listen to the birds and waves. You like it better that way. You got a fancy heater. For days it turns cold. You'll live on that boat, even when you're too old. Because as fun as it is, living life on dry land, you'd prefer the water. It just gives you that feeling, and for the first time in your life, you feel peaceful and free, until the day you're no more. God will only take you by sea. So if it is, I never see you again. Daddy, oh daddy, I feel you whenever I swim. So that is about my dad and isn't, because, I don't know. just thought I would upload these. I've been uploading these. No one watches my stuff anymore. And look, I've already been out of syndication, right? But I just thought I'd upload these because why not?